So, video journal. Talked to a lawyer today about filing a registration for copyright on these videos, considering that everybody's picking them up and everybody's using them, and wanted to make sure that I am protecting myself with them. So I've taken them off of the public registry on YouTube and made them private. And I've also sent letters to Wall Street Journal and to the different places that have used them and let them know that their licenses or my permission to use them only went as far as the story that they were using them in, and not for sale, so that they can't make $1 million off of the videos and making movies and stuff like that. So I don't like dealing with that. But I also don't want another thing to be angry at. And so protecting myself from getting angry at that stuff is going to be worth doing a little bit of work in the beginning, so that I don't feel like I'm getting victimized again, over and over again. So, but last night was really hard. My kidney infection was extremely painful, and I probably would have killed myself last night had I not had antibiotics. Trying to treat that at home was not working very well, and you don't think that if you don't have doctors and you're not using medications, how dangerous these things that we don't consider to be dangerous anymore. You don't really realize how much longer you have lived this life just because doctors and nurses and medications exist. And I realized that last night that I probably would have put myself out of suffering last night had I not had the medication. So my foot is still swollen, and it's still I'll show you my foot. So I'm pretty sure my anger has precipitated a lot of this karma. So I don't know if you guys can see. I don't know if I can show it to you from there, but yeah, that's a nice little swollen ankle. And I'm still judging everybody. I'm in a mode where I'm seeing something wrong, and instead of letting it just go by me and say, that's not my business, I don't have anything to do with that, I don't want to comment on it, I am not being silent at all. In fact, my voice has been very loud. I had a person on Facebook that had pictures of her mom laying in a bed where they kept her all the time. And her reasoning was, well, she fell and broke her hip, and she has atrophy. I'm like, so yeah, you just told me that you are killing your mother. And atrophy means that she's dying. Her muscles are literally wasting away because you're keeping her in a bed. So let me just put this way. If a 10-year-old breaks a bone, you going to make them sit in the bed for the rest of their lives because they broke a bone? No. They broke a bone because they're not getting up and moving enough. They're not walking enough. A broken hip means that, you know what? Number one, I've lost some coordination. I need somebody to help me get my strength back in the small muscles in my feet. The small muscles that create balance. I'm not using those enough. I'm sitting down too much. I'm not playing. I'm not going outside and using them. That's what that means. That does not mean you put them in a bed and don't let them get up again. That's not what that means. A broken hip means you're not doing your job. That person took care of you when you were little. It's time that you help them with exercises on getting the coordination back in the small muscles in their feet. And if you don't know how to do that, ask someone. We have videos now. You can pull it up on YouTube. There's tons of them. 2 to 3 times a day. They need to be doing balancing exercises. They need to be doing all of those things. They need to be walking more, not tied to a bed. Are you idiots? Seriously. Like, I don't understand what you're doing. We've given you all this knowledge. We have showed you how the body acts. We have shown you what makes the body stronger and what makes the body weaker. So why would you go and put an elderly person in a bed and restrict their movements? That's called abuse. Nursing homes, for the most part, abusive if they're not doing it right. So let me explain what right is. Let me try to be a mother here instead of a disciplinarian. If you are taking care of an elderly person and they have fallen and they've broken their hip, once they heal, they need to be doing weight-bearing exercises 5 times a day. Maybe you'll have to work up to it. 5, 6 times a day. They need to be getting outside. They need to be walking. You can use a gait belt if you're scared of their coordination. They need to be using those little tiny muscles in their feet. There's exercises that you can do to help them with their balance. The only reason that they're losing their coordination is not because they're just getting old. It's because they're sitting still. They're not doing stuff. They're not moving. They're not playing. They're not doing all those exercises that make you kind of move around and strengthen those muscles. They're not dying because they're old. They're dying because they're stopped using their bodies. They need to be reminded that they can use their bodies, that they can play, that they can do things, that those things are important. They're not just there to be having fun. Those things are important. They're like work. Playing is work. Playing is actually doing a job for your body. That's what it is. You have to play. And you have to tell them they have to play. They have to get up and move around. Now, I'm getting really good at telling all of you guys what you're doing wrong. So why don't you guys start telling me what I'm doing wrong? Okay? Honest, open communication. I'm observing this. I told my mom today, it's hard for me to look at what I'm doing because I'm not looking in a mirror. I'm not the person looking at me. I'm not the person examining my life. You guys are. You, the people watching this, you're the ones observing me. You're the ones that are checking up on me to see how I'm doing life. And if you think I'm doing it wrong, let me know. And I'll tell you if I think you're right, and I'll tell you if I think you're wrong. And I will adjust accordingly. We are there for each other. We can't look at ourselves all the time. It's too hard to do because our eyes don't look at us. They look at everything around us. If you're not going to be truthful with each other and you're not going to be truthful with the people around you and with me, I don't need you in my life. I don't need somebody to console me. I don't need somebody to coddle me. I don't need somebody to stroke my hair and say, it's going to be okay. I really don't. What I need is somebody to say, you know what? You know how that happened? That happened because you did this. Don't do it anymore. And I can guarantee you I won't do it again. Because I will know what caused it. If you can't do that, if you can't be that in my life, then don't be there. If you just want to watch me fall and let me keep falling because I don't know why I'm falling, no thank you. You're not invited. Go to somebody else's party.